Ben going up against some of the premier players, Sargon playing against Pascal, playing against LeBron tonight. Did you think he came with, I don't know if it was a different kind of energy, but the kind of energy you guys needed to have the performance you had today?
Clearly. Like he was so good. And good at multiple positions. Again, you saw what we did with him at playing the 5. At the end of the game, they actually came up and started guarding him, so I put him in a bunch of pick and rolls as the point guard. Put him in a lot of elbow action, offensively. And then defensively, like you look at the disturbance that Matisse and Ben caused. What do they have, 9 cumulative turnovers? He was really special tonight on a very talented court.
We talked the other day, I think with Toronto, people were asking you about Ben and Matisse together on the court. And, I mean, you've talked all year about how your team kind of thrives off the home crowd. Do they, in particular, the way they play, really kind of get egged on by the crowd maybe more than most players would?
I don't know that, but what I do know is, like, when they collectively put their minds to it, they are as disruptive as anybody in the NBA, just with their athleticism and their length. And, I suppose if you can wind them up, to your point, on the road or at home, like, it adds another layer to what their physical gifts are. And I thought defensively we were pretty good. I mean, you look at the thing. If you told me we had 23 turnovers and we beat the Los Angeles Lakers by 17 points, you'd wonder what happened in that. And so you circle back to the thing that you're talking about. Our defense was pretty good. When you get into half-court defense, and they had 3 points the last 4 minutes of the game, and those two fuel that type of energy.
Is that the version of Tobias that you've been searching for? I know you guys have had constant conversations about, we want you to hunt shots, we want you to attack. It felt like when he had mismatches or a guy he felt couldn't guard him, that he just went right at him.
For sure. And he did it, and again, in a variety of ways. But to your point, like, his spirit and his mentality, his downhill aggression, even at the end, like, he's telling me, I got it. And I think we went on an 11-0 run. And how big was Al Horford during that fragile kind of stretch? And, Tobias kind of waved me off and said, I got it. And I said, that's just fine. And I thought that his mentality to hunt hoops, find buckets was big tonight. Good for him. He had a heck of a game.
You mentioned
that
Al.
Your team has come up big in these big sort of spotlight moments. Christmas Day, Saturday night in UBC. Does it do anything for guys' confidence that they've come up against these good teams, or is it just?
I think so, right? It has to. Sometimes as the coach, it's a little disturbing when you lay an egg, on the road when you wished you didn't. But if you're trying to find a silver lining, which is true, we were pretty good against the Celtics. We were pretty good against Milwaukee. We were pretty good against the Lakers. I thought even the other night in Toronto, there was some positive things that came out of it. I love the spirit of the group. We look down and we have a starter in the NBA All-Star game that's on our bench and not playing. And Joel has been fantastic just being with his team. And so I like the spirit. And it sure feels a lot better when you can beat the Lakers. But some of those marquee games, to your point, it does give you another layer of confidence.
You mentioned Al, and I mean, the couple shots that he made down the stretch in that fragile part of the game. How important is it to have a veteran guy like that to make sure everybody's like calm and able to really just kind of get the game back in your favor?
Well, that what we saw was Al Horford. That shouldn't surprise any of us. There were times I wasn't entirely comfortable putting LeBron James and Anthony Davis in a pick and roll, but I felt like, given how they were playing it, we might be able to get separation with Al Horford, and we did. And the game was kind of fragile at that point. We came out and they got 2 turnovers. We're trying to post Tobias, on a duck and play on Danny Green. They came from the weak side. We got stuck in mud, and there was at least 2. And it felt like 7, but at least 2 and maybe 3 plays. You wish you had those back, and the game was fragile. And then Al Horford stepped up, and he was really big tonight. Good for him.
Right, a big part of their game plan was to hunt some of your smaller players with LeBron and try and get them in switches. I mean, that's not a new thing, but how do you think Shake and Furkan and Howell held up in those situations?
I thought, we didn't participate and their desire to switch. Like we hedged a lot. There were times, which is true, like we got caught on it. And I think in those environments, we did a pretty good job of making the pass difficult. Like, we got some deflections as they tried to post the mismatches. We tried to designate at times how we were going to come and get the ball out of somebody's hands. Like we would leave, whomever in our world, our scouting world would designate. But you look at, Zaire comes in and plays, and, I start Shake, and Ferk's been kind of Ferk, and it's an unlikely group that's going to roll out and beat that team, really, when you look at it. And I thought, to their credit, they were excellent.
Going back to Shake, that being his first start, that being against Lakers, his connection to with Ben, knowing that Josh is going to be out for a couple of weeks, what did you see with him, the confidence in him?
I mean, there is sort of like a poise and in a piece. He plays at a non-rattled level. He really doesn't, to me, get rattled. He doesn't get shooken up. And you look down. I think what do you have 9 rebounds? He's a 2 guard. And I thought to be able to put him in pick and roll stuff, and even at the start of the game, play through Bennett at an elbow and fly him up and play out of that environment. It's the benefit that Ferk gives us. But both Ferk and Shake, for different reasons outside what you're going to see on a stat sheet, they are 2 of the pick and roll guys that I pair Ben with. And I thought both of those young guys, and especially as we're talking about Shake, 9 rebounds is pretty impressive.
How much you like the spirit of this team? They seem to get along. So what's the coaching trick to getting that out of the team? Or did you just have to?
I mean, I don't know. There's like an organic, simple way for me that I do my job, try to do my job. I've tried to do it the same way all my years here. You circle back and you give credit to the guys. Like really, Jack, if we're all, honest, it's high character in that locker room. Like prideful high character. And there are people, that are playing for contracts. There are people that, obviously want more minutes. How do you coexist and actually like be a part of something a little bit bigger than you are? That's hard to find in pro sport. And it's hard to maintain. And to our guys' credit, like we talked about winning days about a month ago, and I can hear him talking, hey, Coach, did we win the day? Yes, you did. And I think right now we're like 17-0. We've been doing this for like, 17 days or whatever it is. And I give them credit. Like they really have been enjoyable to coach, and I think that they coexist just fine.
It's only a game in January, but you guys
2
have
more
had
guys.
your issues late in games at times. Is there
Yeah.
any significance for them to make a run like that, to get to 5, to make it seem like things were a little shaky, like you said, if you guys immediately respond with the run you did to kind of put the game away after that?
I give them credit where they didn't, all of a sudden tighten up. I think some of the things that I tried to do was reclaim space. Like I thought initially when we were at our best offensively, and we were pretty efficient offensively tonight, it equaled space. And, it sounds simplistic, but it's complicated at times trying to get our groups perfectly spaced. And I thought when we made that run, it ended up just being space. Al was space. He did some great things. Tobias was space. He did some great things. And Ben had the ball, and they were actually guarding him. And I thought Ben, got downhill, had that sort of bully ball mentality finishing, but space drove this atmosphere environment that we're talking about.
Brett, LeBron had 8 turnovers, AD had 5. Did you attack those guys in any specific way to force them into that, or was that just kind of your personnel, like you said earlier, playing with a different energy?
I think it's sort of a hybrid of both. It's an accumulation of defensive rules. Like I know the floor spots I want our guys in. I know the strengths that LeBron has and the Lakers have. And then I hope I can do my job and put the people where they should be placed to create that crowd. And I thought that they were disciplined in their floor spots in transition defense especially. And then, you give the guys credit for taking that atmosphere, that floor spot, that environment, and really making it work. They made a congested life for LeBron. That's all you got. You can't guard him one-on-one. And to our guys' credit, they bought into that notion of team defense, especially in the first 3 to 5 seconds of a shot clock.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.